barring your audition for On the Horizon, not necessarily referring to that one, but maybe you can bring that in. When you do a Skype audition and you're doing a read, and maybe there's someone on the other end reading with you, maybe not, what do you like about it? What works for you? What doesn't work?
I mean, it definitely presents its challenges, for sure. You know, a big thing with auditioning is being able to connect with the reader. Connecting with a reader via a medium like a computer is a little more challenging. I mean, there's certain things that you can't utilize that you would in the room. Say your physicality, say proximity. Those sorts of things really don't come into play as much in the Skype format. However, that being said, there is something sort of freeing about doing it within a space that you're comfortable in, and sort of having the detachment from the room, as it were, because a lot of actors get intimidated by the room, and rightfully so. The room can be very intimidating. In this case, the room being virtual was sort of a safe haven for me. But here he is going, you know, she's really pushed you. She's really gotten you past that point. You know, she's really this. And I'm sitting there screaming at a webcam, just screaming, just spittle coming out of my mouth, the whole thing. And he's yelling at me to push it. And here I am. And funny enough, a neighbor actually came to me after that and said, "Is everything okay?" And I just said, "Well, I'm an actor." And that explained everything. So.
But I think that's the best way. If you can make it via Skype or via webcam, imagine what you're going to do in real person with, you know, when you're going to be in that moment. So I think that's a way better test. If you can kill it via webcam or even a video submission without a reader or something, and you kill it, then you're going to be amazing when it's going to be time to do it live.
Well, I think, did you have someone read with you before, and then Pascal, you did a second one, and you had things to bring to it?
Yeah, exactly. You picked someone, and for me, it didn't really work. I was just like,
I hired someone.
For real? You wasted money on this? Jeez. So, but yeah, it really didn't.
I think she's great, personally.
But yeah, it didn't have this angry vibe that I was looking for. So that's why I was like, let's do it live, just you and I. So we did it 4 or 5 times live, and for me, it was to see him reacting to what I was saying and to push him. But then you were not afraid. I think you were. And the more we were doing it, he was jumping on.
Yeah, it took me hours to calm down after that.
Sorry.
Well, maybe she wasn't Alyssa. Maybe she was great, but I know that there were specific things within the relationship, and we won't give them away in this interview, but that were definitely pushing one another's buttons. Yeah. So you knew who Alyssa was and her backstory and those specific things.
No, I understand. You know, the reader did the best with the knowledge about the story. So for me, I think it's just easier if I'm doing it. But
yeah, she just read a little more melancholy. She was a little more down energy, where Alyssa is more of a fighter.
Exactly.
And that was something that we had to address, and that's what we did via Skype.
It was just missing the storm a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you stirred up the storm.
That was the storm.
And so what did you see in his Skype audition that worked, and then maybe you said you had to keep refocusing him or something?
Yeah, because in the beginning, you were just, like you said, you were down. He was just, when you watch the scene in the film, it's all over the place, screaming and everything. And for him, it was just like,
I was playing the loss of the whole thing,
almost like a victim,
and the pleading and and that sort of thing, and it was because I hadn't yet been able to figure out Casey yet. You know,
you didn't read the whole thing.
And I was still at this point of of figuring out who he was, and I didn't realize the fight that he had inherent in him, and I saw him as being more a victim of Alyssa's behavior as opposed to an active participant in his own situation.